I call this the Triforce of Wealth. All of my nerds out there who play Legend of Zelda, I did too. Why do you think I have it up there? I fucking love it, right? Triforce of Wealth. Write this down. These are the three things that will, honestly, these are the three things that I've found that rich people talk about in regards to growing their wealth, keeping their wealth. These are the three most powerful things anyone's ever talked about in some form or fashion. Number one is business owners. Why do I say do not be a W-2 employee? Why do I say not be an employee? Because you need to own a business. What happens when you're a W-2 employee? That paycheck comes in. Who gets paid first? Government. El presidente taking his money, right? Whatever you say, dinero, right? But as a business owner, your money hits your account. You decide how much you pay in taxes. You decide how much you put back into the economy. You decide how many people you hire. You decide what your expenses are. You decide where you throw your money, where you invest it. And based on those decisions, when you're in control, you have the power. As I said, the Constitution of the United States is written to benefit the business owner and the landowner. When you're a business owner, you have total control. There's no secret here that real estate is one of the most powerful investments you'll ever make. If I have to explain that to you guys, then we need a whole nother seminar, because I know you guys know there are a lot of seminars out there that can talk 4 days straight about the power of real estate, tax benefits, total growth. I just want you guys to understand this. Why do the rich people not care about inflation? Because they own the businesses and they own the real estate that are being inflated. So when inflation happens and they don't have to worry about taxes or any volatility, because in real estate, are you going to lose? It might go down a little bit just based on your market, but over time, are you going to lose in real estate long term? Fuck no. No, you're never going to lose in real estate. The greatest investment you'll ever make is land, because there will never be any more of it. There will never be any more of it. It's something we all need and want. Men and women have always sought after land. Land is the best investment you'll ever make. It will always go up. So why do the wealthy not care about inflation? Why are they not so worried? Why? Well, because when the price when inflation happens, what do they do in order to combat it? They raise their prices. What do you see with gas? We just looked at it, the numbers for gas. How much is gas now? $5. In some places, I heard a report is like $7 in places in California, right? I believe in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see $10 a gallon. No question. $10 a gallon. Might be sooner than that. Imagine your family and friends, or maybe even you, going to the gas station and $10 a gallon. How would that affect your life? It doesn't affect the guy who's invested in, the business, the guy who owns the Maverick, and guess what? He gets to mark up his prices, stay on top of inflation. Who doesn't care about inflation when gas prices go up? The dude who owns a bunch of homes and is sitting on these homes, because not only did the gas prices go up, but his home went up 20%. How many of you own a home and has gone up a lot recently in value? Shocker. You basically followed this without even knowing it. Maybe you did know it, but you stayed on top of inflation, because when you own assets, assets rise with the tide. Everything else does not. What Andrew was talking about is so important. In the average day-to-day life, we think of what is my check and what are my bills and what's left over, how can I save it? We just try to keep it. As opposed to wealthy, they say, how much of this can I distribute into these assets as possible? Their entire priority is to own as many businesses, as much land as possible. Okay? So, who wants to hear the third one? Raise your hand if you want to hear the third one. This was actually really interesting. I'm curious to see your guys' reactions. Some of you have probably heard this before if you have seen me do one of these presentations. I always love the reaction when I get from this. So, here it is. Whack. Weird. How does that work? Geico, right? No. This is the best kept secret of the wealthy, and it's not even close. Not even close. when you look at the tax code and you look at how things are written, as a matter of fact, when we talk about Roths, the Roth strategy was written based off of life insurance. And if you just want to find out how to make money, just look at people who make a lot of money and see what they do. And what I've found after talking to a lot of really rich people and studying a lot of really rich corporations, especially banks, did you know that banks are the biggest that buy more life insurance than any other industry? So that means when you put your money in the bank, they turn around and buy some life insurance. Whack! Why the fuck would they do that? Because life insurance written in the tax code, and honestly, I don't know why. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no idea why life insurance of all things was chosen. But what I can tell you is in the tax code it's written, it's sacred money. It is sacred money. It's called death money, and it's untaxable. Money in life insurance grows at a tax-free rate. So number one, it avoids taxes. Number two, you never take a loss. There are certain types of life insurance that you get when you put your money into it. It grows at a contractually guaranteed rate of 1 to 12%, sometimes even higher. Imagine if you had a savings account or a place to stash some cash temporarily that grew at 1 to 12%. How many of you would put your money in that bank? Imagine if Chase Bank opens up a new savings account and you get guaranteed 1 to 12% anywhere within there. How many of you would do that? Everyone would do that. Everyone would do that. As opposed to our current savings account, get 0.01%. And why is this not talked about? Again, probably the best kept secret of wealthy. Did you know there are more lobbyists for life insurance in Washington, D.C. than the entire Senate and House of Representatives combined? What is a lobbyist? It's a hired person from a corporation to go and lobby for their business, their product, their industry. There's people in Washington, D.C., more lobbyists in Washington, D.C., fighting to make sure this stays protected than the entire House of Representatives and Senate combined. Why do they go to so much length to protect it that much? Because this is what's designated. Honestly, I don't know why. I'm not trying to get all conspiracy, but if you look at the, who's that really rich family? Rothschild. They invented this shit. They were the fucking ones who made this happen. Walt Disney, everyone loved Disneyland? Disneyland is Disneyland because of this. You can look it up on your own. Go ahead, look it up if you don't believe me. That bull's a fucking liar. Look it up, right? Life insurance. So not only does it grow tax-free, so wow, you avoid one of the biggest killers of wealth, taxes. Number two, you avoid all volatility. So if your money's going to grow, how many of you look at a stock chart and it goes like this, right? You got little squiggly lines. Imagine if your money went like this and you never took a loss. As a matter of fact, you always made sure you took a gain. What would that do for your compounding interest and growth if your money always went like this? Okay? And inflation. Well, obviously keeps up with inflation because it's going to grow past inflation. And here's the best part about it. Everything on here revolves around one word. It's leverage. Robert Kiyosaki calls it debt. I don't like saying debt because everyone thinks of debt as good debt versus bad debt. Just keep it simple. The good debt really is leverage. When you leverage other people's money, when you know how to leverage things, this is what everything's based on. Why? Is a loan taxable? No. When you take out a home equity line of credit, do you pay taxes on it? Nope. Super cheap to do. Really low interest. So real estate you can leverage with all that equity. Life insurance you can leverage. Your business you can leverage. I don't know if you knew this. If your business has equity, you can leverage that. How many of you knew that? Raise your hand. Big corporations do it all the fucking time. The Triforce of Wealth is built off the idea that you can leverage other people's money because that's how the tax code's written. That's where everything's going. So if you want to stay on top of things, if you see what I see when we're experiencing with this economy, this right here is the greatest strategy. So here's the thing, when you see all these incredible men and women up here speaking, they're talking about, what they've accomplished, you look at it, They might be talking about their business in different ways, but guess what? They all own a business. They all buy a lot of fucking land. It should show you something, and I want you all to make sure I emphasize one thing here. The number one most important thing on this list is this. To be a business owner, you should buy, own, start as many businesses as you possibly can in this country. You should make sure all your money flows through your business so you are in power, not somebody else.